FA Cup has been the lifeline for Mikel Arteta, and it was the lifeline for one manager that has been credited for being the best manager in Premier League history. I guess it was in 1986. 1986 was when that manager was employed into currently History FC. The manager had done so good at Aberdeen FC. He was a player at Rangers. Then he went and coached Aberdeen FC, which the two teams are like they have a rivalry. So Aberdeen FC had not won for so long, and him being one of the guys on Rangers, one of the, I will not say a bigger player, but one of among most known players of Rangers, going to coach Aberdeen, then making Aberdeen to win consecutive trophies. He was both loved and hated at equal measure in Scotland, and which raised his name and his profile to the extent that he was now employed by Man United in 1986. At that time, Man United was still a big team, but they had not won the Premier League. It wasn't by then the Premier League, it was Division 1. For some years, they had won in 1983, they had won the FA Cup. In 1985, they had won the FA Cup, and they had sacked the manager because they wanted the Premier League. And they thought, like, this guy is the right guy who has gone into a team that has not been winning and made them win. So he started 1986 no cup. He finished number 11. 1987 no cup. He finished position 2. And then people were their hopes were so high. They were saying, like, in 1989 we are going to win this thing. And then in 1989 he finished number 11, and it was like a pandemonium. Like, people were like, no, this guy, I don't know if pandemonium is for happiness, but people are like, no, this guy should go out. It's the same now. Like, if I see his trajectory, I could see the trajectory of this bald guy, Ten Hag. I could also see the trajectory of Arteta. I could also see how. But people back then were patient for that team, had patience for the coaches, but not for this one. This one, they had high expectation for him. They wanted him to win. And even at the start of, I think, now 1989 season, 1989 to 1990, the seasons, it was his fourth season. And now people are like, no, if we don't win this season, this Division 1 trophy, this guy has to go. And even in occasional, sometimes during several games, people had all these banners and all these placards saying, like, yo, Fergie must go, Fergie must go, Fergie must go. And the season started not quite well. They won some games, and it was, at the first part of the league, it was like 20 games before January. And by then, they hadn't won a lot. And the first division teams, like FA, was going to its third round. That's when the first division teams start playing their first game. Like, it was now this week. Like, currently we are going for the first games for the Premier League teams versus the third round for FA games. And it was then, now this weekend. And before that weekend, Man United had lost like 6 games. And now you see how these guys, like the directors, usually when they want to sack a guy, like you will know, the first time people, the fans will be like saying like sack this guy, and then the directors will go like, oh no, we really we have confidence in this coach. We know he'll take us somewhere. Then they lose the game. Then the next time they were like, oh, no, we still have confidence in this guy. Then he loses another game. Then they say like, we have a meeting. Then after the meeting, they will still say they have confidence in that guy. But again, you will see the media now. I think they usually talk that to the media, but backside, they usually tell the media, you know what? We are giving this guy just 3 games or 2 games. So the media will publish, okay, the directors have said that they have confidence in this coach, but then they will go at that on. At that time, it was not like currently. Currently, you have information in the internet. Now anybody can post, but at that time, if you post wrong information, the only conduit for information was the newspaper. So they will know who they want to sue. Now you can't sue like somebody will say like, I'll see you, and then the guy deletes their Twitter account. How will you get him? How will you know? How will you prove? Now you have to go through a long process of trying to prove that's the guy who posted it. At that time, like the person who posted was known, like you had to work for a newspaper. But they also had these other ways of passing information, like those tabloids, the small newspapers, and they will write like, oh, Ferguson might be losing his job. So, like now, people are just waiting, like they are waiting, like when is the weekend, and then as I've told you, you'll always know when the directors want to sack somebody, and after telling a coach like, we have a lot of confidence in you, we know you, like at some point when you start hearing the news like they've given this guy a ultimatum, and you start hearing from those pundits in TV, and then they will be discussing things that if this guy loses these games, like this is the game, right? You say, yeah, this is the game. So the nation was expecting, like that lost that the previous weekend, and now they are facing Nottingham Forest in round 3 of FA Cup, and Nottingham Forest had, I think, won or was in the semi-final of the previous year's FA Cup, and it was it was a bigger team, but it wasn't like a bigger team, but it was one of the teams that, it was like the current West Ham or the current, I will not say Newcastle, probably the current Brighton. Like it's the team, if you don't come prepared, you lose. And because Man United had a bad form, people are not only expecting Nottingham Forest to win, they were also expecting that Ferguson will be sacked. And even at the stadium, you could see the placards like, no, Ferguson out, Tara Ferguson, whatever. It was highly expected that Ferguson would lose. Then they start the game. The game progresses 0-0 first half. It goes to second half. And it's reached at time like 70. Now you could see the pressure. The guy was there with he had started that, what do you call it? The big J, the bubble gum. Is it the gum? He already had that gum for reducing the pressure, but people could see that like this guy has anxiety, this guy is tense, this guy knows that if he doesn't win this game, there's nothing good that is coming. So he was trying to make all those changes. I could see it even last week when Pochettino was trying to to win a game, and he was trying to put just anybody who can score, like, just go, just go. I don't care. If we lose this game, it's bad. Now, I don't care even about the tactics. I don't care who's here. If you can just shoot the ball to the net and you win this game, it's okay. So he put a guy. That guy was a 20-year-old. It's called Mark Robinson. And it wasn't like, people are like, okay, it's given up. You know, when you have world class, this is just an example. When you have world class players, and people usually expect, like, you have Salah or you have De Bruyne or you have, people usually know if the players like that get just a ball, even if it's 94 minutes, 90 minutes, they will score. So players like that, you don't sub them out. Players like those, you let them play until the final minute if you are looking for a ball. But if you are tensed, if you are anxiety, you don't think correctly, even if you are playing at 24 and the person is just scoring and you have to win a game. Sometimes you are doing all those crazy things. You just want, it's like, it's like betting. It's not like, it's not pre-planned. You are not expecting to do something like that. And at that time, 80th minute, like, Ferguson was like that, like, okay, you want to play, you can kick the ball to us. So he put there, and then I think it was in 89 minute or 88. Then Mark Robinson scored a header, and that meant that Man United had won that game 1-0. And the thing is, when directors are prepared to sack you, and then you win a game, like the way Tuchel did, he won a game, but the game was not very impactful to the fans, to the players, to the coach. Then those directors will just go with the decision they had, whether you win or not win. But the fact that this game, people are really expecting Man United to lose at some point. Then it dragged for that long. Like, you want to score at 50, no. You want to score at 60 minutes, no. At 70 minutes, no. At 80 minutes, up to 88, 89. When they scored, the whole stadium rose. It was like noise everywhere. It was like a relief. Everybody screaming. Those people who had Ferguson out, they had already hidden their placards, and it was like new hope. Like, it was like the revival. And the director saw it and they said, no, we are not going to do this today. So probably we'll just add another game and another game and another game. And that season, Ferguson won the FA Cup, which really saved his career. Winning a trophy at some point in a manager's life usually saves your career. I think this should be what Pochettino should be looking at this year. He should win either the Carabao or FA Cup. That's what has been saving Arteta's career. And this is what will save Pochettino's career. But without that Mark Robinson goal, I don't think Man United will be having the Alex Ferguson era. Yeah, that's what